Hello everyone, this is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, this Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, check out the notes section below for important information. Let's jump right into this as Bitcoin is still over $790. Today I wanted to talk about how Bitcoin will be demonized in 2017. And I again will link to the Newsweek article, which really I started thinking about more because of a Reason article, and I will link to that one also, that kind of was just like, why did they bring up like white racism in this article about Bitcoin, and it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. I mean, it was shocking. It was just shocking how this lady, this author, brought up this subject, and it just got me thinking that in 2017 there's going to be a lot of demonization of Bitcoin. There's just going to be a lot as it moves up and it gets more popular. They're going to be, the haters are going to become louder for various reasons, and I just thought I would come up with some reasons and some maybe some future articles that will be written about in 2017. So I guess this is a prediction show, a niche prediction show. So yeah, I think one of the things that'll happen though is that some white nationalist group or maybe a KKK group, and I know they're not the same thing and everything, but some really hateful group will start to use Bitcoin and will be able to like create their own charity, their own fundraising mechanism outside the mainstream with Bitcoin. And frankly, and let's say it's like some against Jewish. I'm Jewish. So let's say it's an anti-Semitic group, totally like the Jew haters of America. And I will be actually pleased if they're able to do this and able to raise money this way. Because Bitcoin, it just shows you that Bitcoin can't be stopped. If you're going to use it for something ugly, even, that many people consider disgusting, it's freedom, it's their freedom, it's their right to do that. And you know what? If I don't like it as a Jewish person, then I have to speak the truth to my viewers, or I can raise Bitcoin for a counter argument against these. You know, let the war of ideas rage on. But it'll be an example of something, a positive for Bitcoin for me. But if something like this happens, an anti-black group, anti-Jewish group, the media will jump on that. And that will be the only thing they associate Bitcoin with, and that is wrong. That is the wrong reaction. But this is what's going to happen. Some fringe element is going to use Bitcoin to raise money, and people are going to jump on it and try to hurt Bitcoin. And that can happen as early as 2017. I think some other things they're going to try to. When I say they, I just mean mainstream media and people who have other interests, other financial interests, maybe stock interests, maybe major corporations. Who knows? They'll try to associate Bitcoin clearly with racism, but with Trump or with the alt-right or with anti-immigration. Just all the things that are considered not semi-taboo. I mean, I don't know how you want to. Look, I'm trying to fix my hair. I fell asleep a little early tonight. That's why I'm late. But all the things outside the mainstream that are, considered bad now. But so some other things that have already in that article actually brought up the Russians, and again that will be brought. I think they'll try to bring up China to demonize. And you hear it all the time. Oh, mining centralized, China this, China bad. Well, as I've said before, Chinese and Russians aren't bad people. They might have governments that are definitely questionable, but just using those as trigger words, just so that you read an article and you hear racism, China, Putin, and that's all you come up. You don't even read the whole article after that. You just like, oh, bad, 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 bad. They just try to simplify things so much. Some of these media agents, I mean, it's like some kind of, they're trying to provoke people who don't think, and they just want this trigger out of you. Anyway, money laundering will come up some more. white males, just white males being evil, white males using it for horrible, terrible things. And the funny thing is, if you travel around the world, like I have, you'll see that it's black people who are desperate for it, and rightfully so in some of these countries. And God bless them. And Indian people are definitely not white. They won't care if white people are associated with it. White males, that smart white males or elite white males or rich white males or have something to do with it. They just want to be, they want their financial systems to be free again. They don't want to, if they're trying to get Bitcoin in these countries, which some people are, they couldn't care less about race. But in the West, we're going to hear these excuses. And then some people say it's used to fund fake news sites. Look how this Stefan Molyneux funds his, and Stefan Molyneux he's not fake news. I don't agree with everything the guy says, but he uses Bitcoin actually. Maybe they'll point to him. And there'll be some other excuses like they haven't proved it can't be hacked yet, or people are using it for drugs and terrorism. And how about if all the power goes out? The usual stuff, but they'll bring it up more and more and more. And for the people who understand and the people who actually think, it'll get very tiresome, I guess. But we're just at the tip of the iceberg here. So, get ready for it to be associated with all these things that I've just mentioned, and for people to be immediately reactionary and start to use those things that I just mentioned as in arguments, or they're not true arguments against you, but they're just going to scream about the same thing. And it's just more and more excuses. For some people, it'll just be more and more excuses of why they never bought Bitcoin. It'll make them feel good, like, oh, it's all associated with people who like Trump. So I'm so glad I never got into it. Meanwhile, the price is going to still go, because the truth behind Bitcoin will continue to win out. That despite people screaming racism and hate, it will be people all over the world that are trying to escape these type of things, that are trying to escape financial hate, that are using it. People of all different colors who are going to be using it. And if you actually look what's going on, if you actually leave the United States or leave Canada and meet real people. And the funny thing is, you still will have Americans, traveling around the world, who actually use the biggest hypocrites of them all. The biggest hypocrites of them all will be the Americans who actually use Bitcoin, who will be self-hating Bitcoin users. That'll be something for 2017 also, I predict. These self-haters who they'll use it, but then part of their spiel, because they just want to get on some, be at certain conferences, some of the big conferences or whatever, or maybe they want to get paid to be at some of these big, who knows what they want. They want a free ticket to Europe. I don't know. They're going to just be users of it, but they're going to be like, it's racist. It's elitist. And here's another excuse. Only this small smidgen of people control most of the Bitcoin, or some crazy thing like that. That you have no shot. It's late in Bitcoin. All the early people already got in. The self-haters, even though I own Bitcoin, the Bitcoin is depressing because of this stuff. Forget about it. We need to figure out a new coin that'll be more fair. But I still own Bitcoin because I'm self-hating a Bitcoin person. Anyway, so check out that Reason link below that also is in shock about the racist beginning of that Newsweek article. And I guess the question is do all these people, the people who just get in onto these rants, do they think of the possible consequences? Do they want regular middle-class Americans or lower-class Americans to just be stuck in the work for Target or work for some chain store paradigm the rest of their lives, where they just are barely making it, living this monotonous over and over and over again, where they're just spending tons of money on frivolous items like big screen TVs, and then just going to work off their debt at the local Target and getting a discount at Target because they work at Target. And I'm not making fun of people who work at Target. But that's definitely not the life for me. And I'm trying to tell you ways not to be stuck in that work for the man retail. But I see so many people here on YouTube, people who even maybe discuss Bitcoin. I mean, people all over that are just stuck. And you know, they've gotten themselves into situations with bad decisions. And they got to find a way out. And they have to organize their lives and not live this frivolous lifestyle anymore, and not think it's cool to live. Because I think while the media people that I'm referring to are going to write all these, you know, not untrue things about Bitcoin and this demonized Bitcoin, at the same time they're not going to demonize doing all those other things like spending all your money frivolously and working at the Target. They'll be like, oh, that's fine, you know, it's great. It's great. Target just created 1,000 more jobs for you to work at mindlessly for 28 hours a week. That's full time now, by the way, 28 hours. Ha ha ha. Yeah, they will gladly repeat the full time employment statistics of the government, but and think and say, wow, what a great job the government is doing. Oh, well, not with Trump, they won't anymore. But I mean, on the local, like in the state of California, they'll be like, oh, these socialist programs are doing such a great job. Look how many new Target jobs were created. All the new people working at Walmart and the grocery store, you know, for 32 hours or 28 hours a week. But for Bitcoin, they'll be like, it's used for money laundering and terrorism and white supremacist groups. So there's your demonization in 2017 prediction. I'm Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister. I got this video in barely, at least in the central time zone. It's still Saturday. I will talk to you later.